Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Gabby and welcome. We all know the intro. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different type of video. I'm going to be doing a tag, and this is the reacting to your unpopular opinions tag, and this has been going around on YouTube for quite a while now. I'm actually pretty late to the game, but I'm going to be doing that tag in a true crime style. Does that make sense? I'm going to be reacting to your true crime unpopular opinions. But before we get into that video, today's video is sponsored, and you guys know that I've been loving some Madeleine TV. Today's video is yet again sponsored by them. Are you sick of scrolling for hours and hours and finding nothing new to watch? Not entirely sure where that voice is coming from, but yeah. Then you should try Madeleine TV. Madeleine TV is a video streaming service that is dedicated to bringing its viewers the highest quality documentaries. If you are interested in expanding your knowledge about topics you're passionate about, Madeleine TV is for you. Right now, Madeleine TV has over 2,000 documentaries acquired by some of the best filmmakers and documentary networks from all around the world. They also add new programs every single week, so you'll never run out of things to watch. Madeleine TV can be watched anytime and anywhere and is compatible with Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Google Play, iOS, and there are no ads, so you can enjoy your programs with no interruptions. Their crime and mystery section is absolutely incredible, including documentaries and docuseries about tons of cases from all around the world that even I had never heard of before. The little recommendation that I have for Madeleine TV for you guys this time is called Crime Files with David Wilson. It revolves around criminologist David Wilson, and he dives into different cases that take place in Scotland, which is very interesting to me because I love learning about different cases from another country, especially a country that I would love to visit. If you do not already have Madeleine TV and you really want to check it out, you can get 1 month completely free to dive into their entire service as much as you want by clicking that link in the description of today's video. What are you waiting for? Go click that link. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. So about 2 weeks ago, I posted that I wanted some of your unpopular opinions when it comes to true crime cases or true crime here on YouTube or celebrity deaths, anything under any of those categories, just true crime edition. I want to know your opinions that are not quite popular. Before I get into this video, I do have to say really quickly, just a small tidbit, that this is a video about opinions. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody. We have to respect the different opinions. All our brains work differently. If you disagree with somebody, don't come for them. Be respectful in the comments. It's all good. We all have different opinions when it comes to true crime cases. I can assure you that every documentary that you've ever seen, there's been somebody else across the world who viewed it in a completely different way. So I'm just saying, let's start a positive discussion in the comments. Let's not be rude. Let's just be respectful. There were over 200 comments on that post. Some of them were quite similar to each other or along the same lines. So I kind of summarized some of them and picked some of the most popular ones that you guys were liking and commenting on. So yeah, I kind of narrowed it down to 20 out of the 210 comments. So let's just get right into it. I have them here on my phone. The first one, I wanted to stay a little on the light side for the first one. First one is, I'm sick of YouTubers covering the same cases. I decided to bring this one up because I have a few different thoughts about this opinion. This is a comment that I get a lot on my channel, and that is, why do true crime YouTubers cover some of the same cases? And I guess one of the main reasons is because they are so requested by you guys, our subscribers. And of course, our main job is to make you guys happy and cover cases you all really want to hear about. Me, on my channel, I don't really cover a lot of very popular cases. I think the most popular ones I've covered are the case of the Black Dahlia, and I also did one on the Zodiac Killer, but I like to stick to cases that are less talked about I will never cover the case of Jonbenet Ramsey or Madeleine McCann. That's just me, because I feel like they're so talked about and I have nothing else to add to the discussion. But when you are a true crime YouTuber, sometimes because a case is so requested and you know it's a very popular case, you will want to cover it because it will gain more traction to your channel, and because more people have clicked on that video, they will watch more of your other videos, and that will bring more attention to the lesser talked about cases, if that makes sense. Say if I did a video about Ted Bundy. A lot of people have heard about Ted Bundy, have watched a million documentaries at this time. We know more about Ted Bundy than most of the people in our lives. And if somebody was searching around on YouTube and came across my video about Ted Bundy, they may, after that video is over, go to other videos of mine. And ultimately, that leads more people to learning about the lesser known cases. So in actuality, we are helping the less talked about cases by doing cases that are more popular. It's like a domino effect. But when it comes to that topic, there's one thing that I have no respect for here on YouTube, and I've never really talked about this, but it is YouTubers who are not in the true crime community, and they do completely different styles of videos, and then they'll just randomly do a video about a very popular case. I feel like it's very disrespectful because they're just trying to get views on that video so people subscribe to their channel, when in actuality they don't really care much about true crime cases. Hope you guys get where I'm going with that. Okay, now on to the second one. The amount of people who use this fascination as a shield to just fangirl on disgusting, violent crimes is actually concerning to me. This person basically means the glamorization of serial killers. I didn't know this until not that long ago, but there are large communities. I think there are more communities on Tumblr than any other platform that do basically fangirl over very known serial killers. And some people will cover up that fascination with a certain serial killer or crime by saying that they are interested in true crime, when in actuality they are just kind of gushing over Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy. I have to say that I completely agree with your opinion that fangirling over somebody who committed very heinous crimes is absolutely disgusting. Number 3. The case of Brittany Murphy was always interesting to me, and the fact her husband died not long after. Completely agree with you. I always thought that Brittany Murphy's case was a little bit too odd. I don't think it was just a coincidence that her husband died not long after. Definitely agree that there is something very fishy about her and her husband's deaths. Number 4. Casey Anthony was found not guilty because no cause of death could be given. Does not make her innocent. Completely agree. Ever since I first heard about the case of Casey Anthony, there was something about her mother. Obviously, there are so many different factors that make Casey Anthony look completely guilty. I don't have a set opinion on whether I feel like it was Casey Anthony responsible or not, but do I believe that she knows what happened to her daughter? I wholeheartedly do. There's no way that your toddler is missing and you're gonna go out partying for a month. Just saying. Number 5. I genuinely think Madeleine McCann may still be alive. I knew that I was gonna get quite a few comments about Madeleine McCann because her case is definitely one of the most popular missing persons cases of the 21st century. Very split. I think there's, in my head, a 50% chance that I think she may still be alive and a 50% chance that she may not, because we don't know what happened to her. Number 6. D.B. Cooper could have been found with the evidence provided, but law enforcement didn't want to admit that they dropped the ball so badly. This is an old case. The case of D.B. Cooper, very interesting to me, has always been very interesting to me, and I gotta say that I do agree with you. I think that they could have found this individual, but they did mess up. They messed up quite a bit. Number 7 is very controversial. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? I don't know. I don't know if you're ready. I don't think Carole Baskin killed her husband.
Yo, you cool cats and kittens.
I actually did a video about Tiger King and Carole Baskin and the disappearance of her husband, Don Lewis. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below in the description of today's video. But I can't say if I 100% believe she took the life of her husband, but I have to say that she does look extremely suspicious. I know that they're supposed to be doing some sort of documentary or docuseries about his disappearance and her relation to his disappearance, and maybe I will be able to form a full opinion after watching that. Not sure, but I do have to say she does look quite suspicious. Number 8. I think Jonbenet Ramsey's life was taken by her brother and her parents covered it up. Now, this is an unpopular opinion, but at the same time, it is a theory that is widely discussed when it comes to the case of Jonbenet Ramsey.
I'm pretty sure we can all agree that the Dr. Phil interview with her brother was very odd.
Again, with the case of Jonbenet Ramsey, it goes in so many different directions that I think this is a plausible theory. I don't think that we can completely sweep it under the rug, but it's one that when I first heard about and dived into, I dove into it very deep. And I personally can't completely rule out this theory in my head, at least. And I know a lot of you guys commented this same opinion on that post, so I know a lot of you agree with this theory as well. But let me know your thoughts when it comes to her case and your opinions when it comes to this theory, because I can't agree, but I can't disagree. Number 9, the only reason O.J. Simpson got away with it was because he was a famous sports star with multiple attorneys. I completely agree. And that's all I have to say about that. Number 10, Jeffrey Dahmer was the most honest serial killer. And I 100% agree with this because this is something that I've said for so long now. Jeffrey Dahmer was so sick and twisted, and the things that he did to his victims, it makes your like stomach flip. But then when he's talking about it, he's just like, yep, this is what I did. Yep. Number 11, George Hodel did not kill Elizabeth Short. This is another one where I have dove into the case of the Black Dahlia so many times. I have 2 videos on the case. George Hodel, I'm very in the middle on this one as well, because there is a lot that makes him look suspicious, but there's a lot that is kind of reaching, where it's like, I mean, are we really going to use that as some sort of evidence to point to him being the one responsible? Some of it is kind of reaching. Do I think George Hodel was a man completely out of his mind? Yes, but can I say that I 100% believe that he took the life of the Black Dahlia? No. His son did write a book, and George Hodel took a lot of pictures of different women, and I know his son said that 2 of the pictures looked like they could have been Elizabeth Short. I do not believe that they are her. You can tell by the nose, the way the eyebrows are shaped. I do not believe that the pictures are Elizabeth Short at all. But could he have been responsible? Who knows? In my opinion, I don't think that the case of the Black Dahlia will ever be solved, and I hate saying that because it's a case that I want to be solved so desperately, but I just don't think it ever will be. Number 12 is quite controversial, but I don't feel bad stating my opinion, because when this person posted their comment, quite a few of you responded to it and were like, yes, I completely agree, and that is Princess Diana was murdered. Princess Diana is one of my favorite people who has ever lived, and I will never believe that her death was just a coincidence and that it was just a car accident. I wholeheartedly believe that there was something else going on behind the scenes, and that her death was planned. Princess Diana was an absolutely amazing person, and she did a lot of things that pissed off a lot of people in the world that ultimately deserved to be pissed off and be put in their place. And I have respect for her completely, but I do believe that her work in this world is what ultimately led to her demise. Number 13 is one that I personally disagree with, but we're all entitled to our opinions, and that's the great thing about opinions. And that is, I think the West Memphis Three are guilty. This is definitely an unpopular opinion in today's time. This was the popular opinion back in the late 90s and early 2000s, but a lot of people today, after the documentaries have come out, do believe that they are innocent. I have watched pretty much every documentary when it comes to the West Memphis Three. I have read multiple books on the case. I even met Damien Eccles at a book signing back in 2012. And I don't believe that they are guilty, but everybody is entitled to their opinions. And I, when it comes to this case, believe that it was basically a witch hunt. I believe that the police wanted to target these three teenagers and put the murders on them, when in actuality they didn't really try to find who may have actually been responsible. Number 14, I hate when true crime YouTubers put their faces in thumbnails. Now, I wanted to bring this one up because it again has to do with the true crime community here on YouTube. There's a reason that YouTubers put their faces in the thumbnails. A thumbnail is used to show what you are going to be getting in the video. So, if you see a thumbnail with a YouTuber in the center and other things going on, or them to the side, wherever and whatever, you know that that YouTuber, it's going to be their video. They're going to be the narrator. They're going to be the person that you're going to see when you click on the video, and then everything else going on, that's going to be the topic of the video. And I've talked to a lot of YouTubers who said when they don't put their faces in the thumbnails, people won't read the title or read whose video it is. They won't really know that the video that's coming up is this certain YouTuber's video. But is there one thing when it comes to putting your face in thumbnails that I don't like? Yes, and that is when people act super, super overdramatic and surprised in their thumbnails. And I knew I used to kind of do that, where I'd be like, but some people go overboard with it, and I find it completely disrespectful. In my thumbnails, I usually keep a completely straight face and cover my eyes most of the time. I don't know, I just feel like the completely over-exaggerated expression it's not for me, and I feel like it's disrespectful. If I had a loved one go missing or was murdered in a tragic way, and I saw a YouTuber who didn't even come to me or any other family member or a detective working on the case or anything and try to get any personal information, and just took information online, made a video about it, and was in their thumbnail with a super surprised face, I would be appalled. Number 15, Maura Murray simply ran into the woods and died of exposure, and her body was never found. Now, when I first heard about the case of Maura Murray, I think it was like 2 years ago. It was from a YouTuber who covered the case, and that was honestly the first thing that I thought. There are a lot of strange aspects to her case, but overall I think it just may be a case where she succumbed to her environment. But if you're interested in cases of people who have gone missing in the wilderness, missing 411, that is a rabbit hole to dive into. Okay, so we're getting to the last four. 16, Jeffrey Dahmer had nothing to do with Adam Walsh's murder. Now, Adam Walsh was the very young son of John Walsh. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who John Walsh is. He is the host and creator of the show America's Most Wanted. His son was brutally murdered, and they ended up finding his son's severed head but never found the rest of his body. And there is a small theory that Jeffrey Dahmer may have been responsible, but I would say the majority do not believe this to be true. And I have to say that I personally agree with your opinion that Jeffrey Dahmer was not responsible, because I don't think he was. He mostly targeted adult men, teenagers. Adam Walsh was very young at the time, so I don't personally feel like he was responsible. And Jeffrey Dahmer was quite honest with his victims and who they were, so those are just a few of the reasons. Number 17, also a very controversial one where a lot of people have many different opinions. I think Kurt Cobain was murdered. I wouldn't say that this is a completely unpopular opinion, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of on the fence about it, especially because his body had 3 times the amount of drugs in it that would have killed him. And the supposed suicide note did not really seem like a suicide note. There's a lot of things about Kurt Cobain's death that make it look like it was not a suicide. 18. This one was very interesting to me. Jack the Ripper was a female. I would say out of all the comments that I got, this was probably the most unpopular, because I had never really come across this theory. I think I maybe had stumbled across it before but never really looked into it. But that's a very interesting opinion. The case of Jack the Ripper is another case that I've watched so many documentaries on, and that was the case that my mother and my grandmother growing up were always very interested in. Never told me many details growing up, but as I got older, I knew that they were very interested in it, so I started diving into it myself. And it's like every documentary or book I read about it, at the end I'm like, oh yeah, like it's definitely that person, or yeah, it might be that person. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever fully know who Jack the Ripper was, but I mean, it could be Jacqueline the Ripper. You never know. 19. Marilyn Monroe's death was an accidental overdose, and there's no conspiracy surrounding it. I actually did years ago, it was probably 3 years ago, a Marilyn Monroe death conspiracy theory video. Very interesting at the time. And I know there's so many conspiracies surrounding her death. I think one of the main ones out there is that the Kennedys had something to do with it, but everybody has completely different opinions when it comes to her death. Some people who are not even into conspiracy theories do believe that there's something weird going on with it and somebody was behind it, or it was kind of like a group project to take her out. And then some people just believe that she accidentally overdosed, and some people believe that she purposely took her life. I mean, everybody has a different opinion when it comes to Marilyn Monroe and what happened to her. Number 20, we are at the end. People who are elderly and in prison for crimes they did years back should be paroled. The main reason that people think that elderly individuals should be paroled is that they are no longer a harm to society. A lot of people think that. I mean, if somebody is in a wheelchair and they're on their deathbed almost and they can barely walk, I mean, yeah, they're probably not going to go out and just murder a bunch of people like they would have or did many years back, but you did a horrible crime and you deserve to sit in prison until your days are up. So that is it for my reacting to my subscribers' unpopular opinions when it comes to true crime. If you guys want me to do a part 2 to this video, leave your unpopular opinions down below in the comments, and if I get enough, maybe I'll do another one. Some of these were very controversial, and I'm kind of nervous even putting my opinion out there about some of these. But like I said at the beginning of the video, everybody has their opinions. So, you know, that's the good thing about us. Our brains work differently. Everybody views things in a different way. Also, of course, check out Madeleine TV. You get a month free with their service. So go check them out and see if you like that. And yeah, my next case video up on my channel will be up within the next week. I'm very excited about that. I'm working with somebody else with that case, so that's exciting. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.